Greetings and welcome back to the lab, and welcome to an announcement. I've been thinking about how much I've been working on these videos and these projects, and I was going to take a break during Thanksgiving. I was going to take the week off, and then I came down with COVID and I had to isolate, so I was stuck and decided to just keep working in the lab to keep myself occupied when I wasn't trying to sleep. I'm pretty much over it now. It took a couple of weeks to really clear out, and I've been thinking about just how much work it's been, and there is plenty of housekeeping to do in the lab as well as in the house. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is taking December off from this point forward. I will finish the lights outside, the Christmas lights, the Freeform Friday DIY Christmas lights. So I'll have an episode or two there. The keyboard, I've come up with some new stuff, so it's also still a matter of waiting for parts to come in, or if I come up with an idea and then I order parts and I gotta wait for those parts to come in. So let's cover a couple of different things here. One, let's talk about the Christmas lights. And I had this chart that I had made up, and I am going to have to undo this, but just for background, the original idea was large, medium, small being 3, 2, 1, and so I had this idea of having a kind of a wave shape. Let me grab my whiteboard, the big whiteboard. So I had all of this stuff that I was working on. Let me make sure I'm kind of in frame here. So we'll get rid of some of this. Well, we'll get rid of all of this. And so I've been thinking about that idea. And let me kind of draw out what the original thought was and how I'm going to have to change it. The original thought was to have large, followed by medium, followed by small, followed by medium, followed by large, followed by medium, small, medium, large, something like that. And I thought that was going to be kind of cool to have this sort of wave shape kind of thing, but it turns out that my smalls are just too small. So I'm going to have to change that plan and just go with large, medium, like this. Or you can call it small if you want now. But that's what I think I'm going to have to change to. And to do that, I'm going to have to redo a couple of them that I've already done. Fortunately, I didn't get too far into it. There are some that I had already done, like the greens. I had done all of them ready to go. So I'll have to change the smalls to either a medium or a large, depending on how many I need. And to figure that out, going back to on this one, instead of the original here, I had red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, violet. And so if I'm going to do it I'm just going to call it large and medium now, just to be simpler. So large, medium, large, medium, large, medium, large. That means that if I continue on and go back to red, I'm going to medium, large, and so on. And if I map it all out, I'll be able to figure out how many larges and how many mediums I need of each one of these colors. So that's the idea. I'm going to have to work all of that out. I'm going to try and get them up, and then I'll try and do a video, probably do one long build video of just time-lapse with Christmas music behind it, so you have something to kind of watch as I build it and then install it, and you get to see the reveal at the end. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. So I'm looking at a few videos here during December, but I'm not going to be able to keep up the Monday, Friday situation. Thus, I'm releasing this one on Monday to explain that, and from this point it's just sort of vacation mode, but with a few videos. So that's that one. Now, as far as the that's one set of videos that we're dealing with. Another is the keyboard. And for the keyboard, yes, I'm waiting for parts. And it turns out this is the latest revision of the board that has arrived. There's another one that has now been manufactured. It is waiting to be shipped. It has not shipped yet, the last I checked this morning. So that'll get shipped, it'll eventually arrive, and I'll be able to build. It turns out that this one, while I thought the wiring was all messed up, is fine. It's just that I mixed up the footprints of the two capacitors. So whatever I did, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to install those components, but this is still usable. And I got 5 of these to work with. I've ordered up more components to deal with some of this, so I can play with some other ideas. And so one of those ideas for music, we'll just say music here, is to build a sort of drum slash metronome system. Metronome. Something like that. And I have set it up in Audacity, trying to figure out what tones I need for the oscillators here. And ultimately, what I'm thinking is I'll build that module, and I'll build it in green. Actually, the new circuit boards I ordered are blue, so that'll help with the distinction there. And so I can plug that in like this, and that's why I've got these standoffs on the bottom here. It gives it some stability, and I'll be able to hold down a couple of keys to create a metronome. Or if you want to consider it kind of a drum. Now let me explain what I mean by that, or demonstrate what I mean by that. Let me put this aside. So if I pull out, if I get rid of this, and I get my mouse, I can try and play some of this for you. So this is, I forget exactly how I configured this the last time I messed with it, but here we go. Okay, it occurs to me that the fan that is just turned on might be interfering with that, so I'll be right back. I'm back, and let me turn up the volume slightly so it's a little bit easier to pick up, and I'm also going to put the scope up so you can see what this kind of looks like. Now what we've got here is we've got multiple oscillators doing the square waves, but syncing up partly. So when they sync up, you get constructive interference, or in some cases destructive. So that's why you hear, let me play it again. When I play it again, listen for, there will be a leading beat that will be louder than the others, and then there will be a missing beat, which would be about halfway through. And so that is the constructive and destructive working against each other. And when you combine these and they're not in perfect sync, you get kind of a thump sound, is the best way to put it, I guess, where it doesn't sound exactly just like a square wave. There's a little bit of complexity there. So that's why I'm thinking it sounds a little bit like a drum, but it's very rudimentary. So let me play this again. Okay, so that's the idea there. Now, this will be adjustable. Right now, what I have is I have a 1/4 hertz, and I got a little confused on something. Let me pull the whiteboard out again. If you think about a 1 hertz signal as a square wave, I mean, what is a square wave? But going up, across, down, up, across, down, like that. Now, when you talk about hertz, you're talking about cycles per second. I was thinking along the lines of, okay, I want to hear it go up. I want to hear a click here, a click here, a click here, a click here, a click here. I was wrong. It turns out you get a click here, you get a click here. You get a click on each cycle. Or actually, you are getting a click on each half cycle, but I was expecting on the cycle, if that makes any sense. So I was expecting to have 1 click per second. I was actually getting 2. So for a 1 second spacing, I need a 1/2 hertz signal. And so that's what I've got here as a... Let me play that one for you. Let me get that set up. And we'll mute that. Okay. There's your ticks, or your thumps. Those are at 1/2 hertz. This is what 1 hertz sounds like. Now, if that's what you want for a metronome, great. We can tune these oscillators to go at 1 hertz or 1/2 hertz or 1/3 or 1/4, or we can go up. I even had a thought about, wouldn't it be interesting if you had 3.1415 hertz? A pi-based oscillator, maybe even a pi-based scale was something I thought about. So ideas are flowing. I'm having all of these concepts that I want to implement, but I have to get things back under control, and I need to do a lot of the housekeeping around here. So I'll see what I can do about releasing some kind of video about building this drum/metronome. Beyond that, I'm waiting for other parts to be able to build some more of the oscillators and decide on which octaves I want to have on my keyboard. The metronome will be triggered by the keyboard, so that means that I'm using one of these for that, and then the rest of it will go to music, maybe, or maybe I have to do actually half the keyboard just to have to start on a C here for the next octave. So I might only have 1 octave. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I could reconfigure this if I wanted to, so that I end up starting with a C regardless. I just take this one off of here and tack it on over there or something like that. So there are ways to reconfigure the keyboard. So there's a lot of things for me to consider and figure out. Now, that is 2 series of videos. This channel originally started with gardening. And I am the budget gardener, and I need to get back to some of the gardening. Mainly what I need to do is get back to weeding. In terms of housekeeping, there's also the outside of the house. I have not been doing those videos for a while because, frankly, there just hasn't been a lot going on. I haven't been planting. The plants that were there have started to die off because it's winter. But what I do have is a ton of weeds to pull. So there's going to be some cleanup videos coming. And then early next year, we'll be dealing with some planting again and getting back into the garden. So the gardening videos are coming back. So that is pretty much the plan. I am taking the month off, but there will be videos. They just won't be the regular Monday and Friday videos. So hopefully that's all okay with everybody. If you want to see more of any one particular video, give me a like on a video so I know what it is that people like, and I can make more of those. Meanwhile, I'm just doing this mainly for my own entertainment. So, but yeah, we've got all 3 of these in the works. I'm just going to be taking a break, so it's not going to be a regular schedule. So thank you for indulging me and watching this video, this announcement. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Take care of yourself. Take care of your friends and family. We'll all enjoy this season, and then it'll be next year. Thanks for watching.